watching the Michael Venom Page Kevin Holland fight from UFC 299 on Fight Pass. They put the UFC 299 up, so I have not watched this one yet. It's pretty good though, pretty back and forth.
Yeah.
Especially for MVP's first debut in the UFC. I mean, he's got a shit ton of fights in Bellator.
I think Holland lost the first round.
Oh man, we had some good fights this weekend. UFC 300.
Mm-hmm.
If you weren't watching, you were probably sleeping under a rock or something. I think even everybody's grandma heard about the knockouts. But it was pretty stacked from beginning to end.
Yeah, like the first fight was even good.
What was your favorite fight? And then we'll get into them, but I was just curious because there was a lot of good ones. What was your favorite?
Pereira versus what's his name?
Talking about Jamal Hill and Pereira.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Jamal Hill talked so much smack, saying he was gonna knock him out, and then Pereira knocked him out in the first round.
Yeah, he definitely carried. I feel like the Holloway, Gaethje, and Pereira Hill carried the card, even though there was a lot of good fights. If you wouldn't have had those two, it wouldn't have been. It would have
just been a decent card.
Yeah. First, I mean, you start out fights start at like 3:00 or something like that.
I thought it was like 5.
No, because remember there were early prelims, then prelims, and then in the one. So first we had Figueiredo versus Cody Garbrandt.
That was a good fight.
By the time we tuned in, Cody was basically getting choked out. But if you go back and watch, that was round 2 that he got choked out in. I went back and watched in round 1. He looked pretty good in round 1.
Holland.
Yeah, Holland's a black belt in jiu-jitsu, so.
Is he really?
Yeah. Do you remember when he knocked out? Was it Yoel that he knocked out from on his back?
Romero?
You remember Holland's got that knockout from his back. Do you remember that one?
Mm-mm.
I'll pull it up real quick before we dive in these fights, since we're watching this one. There's only a few finishes from the person on back, like obviously not submissions, but knockouts from on the ground from back. And Holland, this one was pretty good. The other one that flashes into my head was Andrei Arlovski. I don't remember who he was fighting, but they reset the positioning from ground, and they didn't start it with like an over under or anything. They literally just started either half guard, and so Arlovski's on bottom, and he just like cocks his hip to the right. Ref says start, and then just hooks the freaking dude out cold on top.
That's crazy.
It's pretty funny, but yeah, the Holland one's definitely okay. It was Jacare, so it was my bad, not Yoel. Both those guys are built like freaking tanks, though. So here you go. So Holland has Souza in guard, and Souza is a world champion black belt, like competes at a high level in jiu-jitsu. But Holland's a black belt too. But dude,
He knocks him out from bottom.
He knocks him out from bottom. You'll see he lands. See
oh
that?
My God.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Yeah, crazy. He's got crazy power. But yeah, that was a really cool knockout. Kind of one of those that you're not going to see a whole lot.
Yeah.
So yeah, we had Garbrandt getting choked in the second. He looked pretty good in the first. I don't think he's ready to retire or anything crazy like that. Then we had old Bobby Green and Jim Miller, which we were all hoping for Jim Miller.
Yeah.
Bobby Green straight walked him down with his hands down and beat the shit out of him for 3 rounds straight.
Mhm.
Oh, let's see. We got up next was Andrade versus Rodriguez. You watched most of this one.
It was a good fight.
I think, was it a split? Yeah, a split decision.
Split. And yeah, good fight.
I don't remember too. I took a shower, I think, during that one, so I don't
Yeah,
remember a
you're
whole
in
lot
the
about
shower.
it. But I do remember the next one was Jalen Turner and Moicano. Moicano looked good,
Yeah.
and that was your early prelims.
Yeah, that was the first fight for early prelims.
Then you had your Diego Lopez versus Yusuf. Lopez freaking uppercutted him to death like
In
twice.
20 seconds.
It was like a minute 29, but he was all over him from the very beginning.
Yeah.
Then
I
you
don't
had,
think the other guy landed a punch.
yeah, I don't really think he did. He might have maybe like a jab or two,
Yeah.
maybe a kick, but yeah, he was pretty swarmed. I was expecting more of a close fight, honestly, but then you had Kayla Harrison making her fight against Holly Holm, and that did not go the way
I told you Kayla was going to win.
She beat the shit out of Holly Holm. She treated her more disrespectful than Bobby Green did Jim Miller. But yeah, she's gonna be a handful for anybody she fights. The only way
Holland's telling him to get on the ground,
yeah, of course Holland wants.
but he's scared.
No, Venom Page is mainly a stand-up guy. I would love to see like Venom Page versus Izzy.
Or him versus Sean Strickland.
Well, what about is he fighting Wonder Boy, or is that just in my head, Venom Page? Is that?
Oh, Holland.
Let's see. Hold
Holland
on.
might get him to the ground.
Who's Wonder Boy fighting?
I know he's fighting somebody soon. Because I've seen videos of him training.
I'm pretty sure he's fighting. Yeah, I'm almost positive. That's one I would like to see. I don't know if they'll make it. They're in the same weight class. Maybe it is set up and I'm just not freaking remember it right, but I would love to see that fight.
Yeah, probably be a good fight.
Yeah, it'd be such a good. They both just distance fight and.
Yeah. Isn't Wonder Boy like 41?
Yeah, he's probably early 40s, late 30s. But his like style, he doesn't get
You see Venom?
dancing.
Yeah. He like tripped Holland down and Holland kind of stumbled and he started like dancing. Like, you know, people, the things at the car dealership that like wave in the wind. That's what he looked like. He is dominating. He's winning all 3 rounds. I think.
Yeah, I mean, he's not like beating the crap out of Holland, though.
Like
but
none
he's
of them
just,
were 8-10, but
he's like just outpointing Holland, which with his style is pretty easy for him.
I'd like to see Holland just take to the ground.
So we had Kayla Harrison getting that sub in the second, and just like I said, Holly had
Oh my God!
no freaking takedown defense. Then we had Calvin Cater, Aljamain Sterling. Sterling won by unanimous decision. A lot of people were saying this is just.
I didn't see that one.
I think you did. And I think it just blended in because of how boring it was. Maybe. Actually, no. I do.
Yeah, I went in my room.
You were playing video games for a little bit. This fight. Like, I'm a Calvin Cater fan. He literally got beat up. Like, he just got beat for 3 rounds. But Sterling didn't do anything super crazy. You know, he won, but a lot of people are calling it a boring fight. I heard Sterling was even kind of like upset with himself, like with his performance. He wishes he'd have done a little better, but I mean, he won.
They're talking against the fence, just having like a full blown conversation.
Well, Kevin Holland usually is really talking in his fights, but he ain't as talkative as usual right now against MVP.
He's getting beat.
But I mean, Holland's a pretty good test for MVP for his first fight in the UFC.
Yeah.
And it's not like it, you know, MVP's getting put in some like spots to where it's showing you that
Is he a really good fighter? I don't know if I've ever seen him fight.
MVP. Yeah, he just fought in Bellator a lot, but yeah, he's an amazing stand-up fighter. If you go watch his bare knuckle with Mike Perry, you'll
Didn't he
see
win?
you'll see he's got heart for days. I'm pretty sure Mike Perry still won that, but they beat the shit out of each other. I mean, like it was a brawl, it was a fight.
Wasn't I don't remember his name, but he's a model. He's in the UFC.
Luke Rockhold.
Yeah, Rockhold. Didn't he fight bare knuckle and then he stopped because his teeth were like getting knocked out or something?
Yeah, he fought Mike Perry too, and Mike Perry's just built for bare knuckle, so yeah, he knocked a couple teeth into his cheek and busted a couple out, I think, maybe. But yeah, Luke's actually fighting on the Karate Combat card this weekend against Joe Schilling. And you got, I think, a UFC Fight Night this weekend, and then that. And it's in,
Holland's mad at him.
I think it's in Dubai, the Karate Combat is, so it's probably going to be on, if you have, I think it's on Fight Pass. Not 100% sure, but it'll be on like earlier in the morning. But you know who Joe Schilling is?
Mm-mm.
Joe Schilling is like a professional kickboxer. He's like good buddies with Joe Rogan. He's a pretty cool dude. But you'd know him. Most people know him if you've never seen him kickbox. Which, if you don't really follow kickboxing, you wouldn't. You might have seen him on Rogan's podcast a couple times. What you probably know him by is in the last year he got into a little scuffle at a bar.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about now.
If you go on YouTube, Joe Schilling bar knockout, you see some drunk. This a couple years back, but
Didn't he literally just hit him with one?
yeah, he comes walking through. The guy kind of like They kind of exchange words. Guy cocks his hand back like he's gonna hit him, and Joe just hits him with the freaking
Hold on, go
3-piece
full screen.
out cold. Oh, we got Mike Perry's a little street scuffle too. So you see this dude's like hogging the whole walkway. Like there's a waiter trying to get by. This guy's there and everybody's way. Joe walks by. Guy says something to him. He turns around. Guy cocks his like shoulder back like he's gonna swing on him. Joe and if you watch it, it's like two straights and then a uppercut as the guy's going down. Like the accuracy's insane. Have you seen this one before?
Mike Perry?
Yeah, so speaking of Mike Perry, this is Mike Perry. I think he'd been drinking a little too much. Looks like out at a restaurant. And he knocks out this old dude.
Old guy. Sounds like something Mike Perry'd do.
The guy does come at him. There's this big old guy right here.
Yeah. Did he know who Mike Perry was?
I mean, probably not. But, I mean, you can kind of look at Mike Perry and tell that he's a fighter. unless something's wrong with you.
Cauliflower ears.
Huge cauliflower ears, like, tatted. And, you know, he arguing with people. Oh, he might. Oh, it's pretty quick. Here it is. So watch the guy in the black shirt. And he tells him he's going to knock him out if he comes at him. The guy comes at him. We'll check it. Somebody come get your grandpa.
Oh, my God.
Your grandpa's out.
He was down, like, on the ground in a snap.
Yep. Grandpa's out cold.
What was that? Just like an overhand right?
Yeah.
Or straight?
Just an overhand. Go put him out. That Holland Venom Page fight was pretty good. It would have been an interesting 5-rounder, I feel like. We only got the 3, but
yeah, MVP was being a little cocky, and at the end, Kevin like started mocking him and started trolleying around the octagon, and then looked at him and was like, "Come on, let's just fight."
yeah, I think MVP was just kind of showing that he, is meant to be there.
Yeah. Wait, they fought?
Yeah. What do you mean they fought? This is UFC 299. All this has happened.
I didn't know.
We've literally talked about this before, but not on the podcast because we hadn't started the podcast yet for 299.
I didn't watch this.
Well, no, we didn't watch it because we weren't really doing the podcast. We still talked about it.
You talked about it.
You probably just didn't listen. You were probably listening to TikToks in the passenger seat, half listening to me.
My phone isn't even ever in here.
No, not in here. Like this happened before the podcast, so I would have just probably told you about what
I
happened.
probably wasn't listening then.
Like, that's what I mean. So, yeah, we're talking about the Cheeto Vera and
I already
Sean
know
O'Malley
Cheeto
fight.
won.
What? Cheeto don't you know Sean's the champ?
I don't care.
So Cheeto don't win. Cheeto won the first one. This one's like impressive. Like
Sean
I've
wins though.
been a
doesn't he?
big Sean O'Malley fan. Not a huge Sean O'Malley fan, but every time I'm like, well, Cheeto beat him the first one, and then he denied it. So I really thought I thought Cheeto was gonna win this one, but from what I heard, it's pretty freaking.
Doesn't Cheeto have like an autistic son?
Yeah, I think he does have a son with special needs. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but so then get back to the 300 card. So we're distracted with some UFC 299. Yuri, Rocky, Yuri.
I told you exactly what was gonna.
We
happen
both
in that
knew
fight.
Yuri was gonna win that one, but
I
Yuri was
pinpointing.
fighting with hands down at the hips, just
He
walking.
was just
this,
eating shots.
Yes, eating shots, just like swaying head.
His corner was probably screaming.
Oh yeah, but he got it done. Did it his way.
Yeah, but at that rate, his chin ain't gonna last very long.
I mean, he didn't like get rocked really though.
Yeah,
but I mean, he was. If you had somebody that was like,
If he fights like that again,
yeah,
and he does
you
get
can't fight
rocked,
certain guys that way. You're not gonna last very long. I mean, remember the Glover fight? He got rocked like so many times.
Yeah.
And okay, so that's your prelims right there. Crazy that Yuri is on ends out the prelims, and then you got Bo Nickel, Cody Brundage. What'd you think about that one? How did that go?
Didn't
Exactly what you thought?
what's his name? Bo Nickel win?
Yeah, make sure you're talking in your mic. You got a little farther from your face there.
I said he was gonna win decision, or no, I said submission second round, didn't I? I said
I said
submission
first,
second
yeah.
round.
I literally thought he was going to come out and ragdoll the dude and just like arm triangle him or something right away.
Yeah.
But
That guy had pretty good wrestling.
yeah, I think Bo felt as if he like underperformed. But
Yeah,
that
he was
guy
mad
was like
after the fight.
that guy had good like MMA wrestling enough to where
Yeah.
he could hold Bo
yeah.
off for a little. He wasn't like he was doing any attacks to Bo or threatening Bo really in any way, but he wasn't afraid of Bo, which I think threw Bo off. He's used to most guys being like intimidated and like not trying to. This guy was just like comfortable surviving basically all of Bo's attacks until the second. Bo finally got him with submission in the second.
Wait, it was submission second?
Yeah, you had that one right.
I had that one pinpointed too.
Yeah, you said submission in the second on that one.
What did he hit him with? Was it rear naked?
It was a rear naked. Yeah, I remember he like had it, but it wasn't under the chin, and it finally sinked under.
Oh yeah.
And then, like I said, and he booed himself. Gave him two thumbs down and booed himself because he wasn't happy. I mean, he was thinking he was gonna go out there and ragdoll too.
I mean, he got it done.
He even said, he's like,
even
this is like
decision.
he's only a few fights into MMA still, so give him a little bit of a break. Yeah, this one, we both were wrong. Was that next fight was Oliveira versus Saroskin.
I told you that guy was really good.
Well, yeah, he was good. I mean, first round obviously went to Oliveira. Second round, Saroskin like ground and pounded him like bad. And then third round, he
It was
pointed
pretty
him in
close,
third.
but he.
Yeah, I think he did enough to. It was a split decision win, but I think it was. I think it should have been unanimous. I don't think it was three. Like I said, you give first to Oliveira and the last two to Saroskin.
Yeah, because didn't he have 2 submission attempts in the first round, and one was actually close?
Oh, yeah. So Oliveira had was it a guillotine? Yeah, he jumped guillotine
Yeah.
in the first. That was like deep.
Yeah.
So
That guy was almost,
and then
like you could see his eyes starting to shut.
third round he got the Dars, but he didn't have
Correct.
the submission
on his
positioning
knees.
was there, but he was not in the right position to finish. He still had the like submission locked, but
And then the guy bellied out.
yeah, he kind of bellied out. ran the time down. And I didn't think that submission was, like I said, it was locked on, but it wasn't like about to put him out.
Yeah.
Then fight of the night and performance of the night in the next fight, which I think we're all going to agree was Justin Gaethje, Max Holloway.
It was great.
And all I can say is, told y'all.
That was a different Justin Gaethje, buddy.
Oh, so we're just saying it had nothing to do with Max being bulky Max.
No.
And it didn't have anything to do with that spin side kick that split his nose.
I would have beat Max up.
Dude, it was so freaking... Max had the game plan. Anytime Gaethje would, like, sit or settle a little bit, he'd throw that spin side, boom, to the body. They had that game plan well worked out. Max has never really thrown those spin sides, so he was specifically throwing them for Gaethje. I mean, I'm sure he throws them in sparring and stuff all the time, but you haven't seen him throw a lot in his fights. Yeah, you're snoozing on. Go ahead, snooze. Just because I got one fight right on this one, snoozing on the most exciting fight, probably the best knockout in all of UFC.
Sorry, what? Just woke up.
Probably the best knockout in all of UFC.
I don't know what you're yapping about.
Gaethje versus Holloway.
How is
fight
that
of the year, best knockout ever.
Best knockout ever?
Yeah, most exciting knockout. I don't think there's ever been a knockout that was like just made your jaw drop or it just didn't feel real almost
Edson
watching it happen.
Barbosa,
Yeah, I mean those are
Jorge
flat.
Masvidal.
Yeah, okay, you could give the Masvidal and Askren one, but that one was pretty cool. But this one just felt different. It was these guys, and let's give massive props to Justin Gaethje. The dude takes 2 eye pokes, nut kick, and still goes like basically all 5 rounds. Broken nose. Can't breathe out of his nose for literally 4 rounds.
There's blood gushing out of his
Makes
nose.
it that long, and then throws down and gets knocked out with 1 second left. Yeah, dude, that was crazy. Then, I mean, this should have just took all the performances of the night. We had Zhang Weili versus Yan. The Chinese showdown.
Such a great fight, man. So many powerful shots and knockdowns. They were all almost stunned so many times.
Now, I know you're being really sarcastic because this fight, out of all the ones, was the sleeper of the card. The boring one. Not sleeper in a good way. This was a boring one. And it actually really wasn't that boring. I enjoyed the fight. It was just there was a lot of grappling in this fight.
It was just boring compared to all the other fights.
Yeah, I think it was, like you're saying, it's just card positioning. I feel like you put this on a pay-per-view a couple more away, and maybe like a pay-per-view in China, where you have 2 Chinese people fighting for the title.
Is there any octagons in China?
They've held an event in China before, I'm pretty sure. I think just one. But, yeah, why not do it there and put it on a different one? And I think it would have. I mean, the fight was it was good.
I want to be ninja.
But yeah, it was the boring one on the card. The grappling was good, just 5 rounds of just grappling, slow grappling, not like ground and pound. Like I said, I personally, because I like jiu-jitsu, I enjoyed watching it, but it shouldn't have been on the UFC 300 card. I don't feel like. Then we're to your favorite fight now. Pereira versus Hill. Are you awake over there?
I don't know.
Said like 2 words the entire podcast, I think. Just, yeah. Snoring noises. I just get a little like sound button. For you, I don't got maybe AI Gavin into the podcast.
No.
So, what about go ahead, you break down the Pereira versus Hill since you've been sleeping over here the whole podcast.
Great fight, dude. Knockout first round. That's all I got.
That's it? Just
Yep.
knockout first round?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to say, like, Pereira kind of like held center, walked him down, was just judging distance, touching gloves, catches
Yeah,
an
Pereira was
inside.
just on the inside touching gloves.
Oh, smart ass. Anyways, he basically just, for the first part of the round, judged distance, glove touch, and a couple leg kick exchanges. Um, he catches an inside leg kick to the nuts, which Herb Dean like tries to come in and kind of get involved. I posted this on the Facebook too, but gets kind of involved, and you see him just like push Herb Dean away, like, I got this, bro.
He doesn't even look at Herb Dean.
Yeah, doesn't even look. He's just staring
Jamal in the
into
eye.
freaking Jamal Hill's soul. Jamal just looked like a scared little kid out there, kind of. And that belly. Jamal had.
You could see his stomach like overlapping his shorts.
He should have wore like at least the board shorts
Yeah.
or something, but to wear the tight with the belly
Yeah.
wasn't a good look.
And at the press conference, or whatever, But he was told Daniel Cormier is like, I don't have my Daniel Cormier belly for this fight.
He had a little bit of a belly.
I'm still eating. I'll probably have one when I'm out there.
Yeah, he definitely put it back on. If he had abs, they weren't in none there. But so he takes a shot to the nuts, doesn't phase him, like waves Herb off without looking at him, and like 2 seconds later, uppercut, boom, Jamal flat back. It was done.
Yeah.
It was a badass knockout.
In the replays, you could watch his eyes roll to the back of his head.
And he looked terrified.
Yeah, when he was
once
on
he
the
hit the
ground,
ground.
he had like one leg up and it was, like had his mouth open basically.
Dude, Pereira's a freaking beast, man.
I don't think he said a word the whole fight.
Yeah. He's just stone faced.
It doesn't even look like he was breathing either. I think he was holding his breath the whole time.
He was in the freaking zone for the whole thing. Yeah.
I don't think his eyes moved. I think it was just his body.
Just staring into his soul the whole entire time.
Yeah.
Envisioning the knockout. He knew, dude, the way he just walked him down, he's like, I'm knocking you out. Like, yeah. So.
And then after the fight, he just pointed to him while he was on the ground.
300 definitely lived up to the hype, don't you think?
Mm-hmm.
I was impressed. Which is a good thing, because we got some cards, some boring cards coming up, I feel like. We got one this weekend, which I mentioned, the Karate Combat, which that'll be pretty good.
What's the card this weekend?
It's UFC Fight Night. It's another one at the Apex.
What's the main card?
Nicolo versus Perez. They're both flyweights. You got a number 5 guy versus number 8. I don't know if I've ever. Maybe
if I
I've
don't
seen
know
these.
anybody on the main card, it's not a good card.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's your main event of the card. But this is a free ESPN fight card again. So then you got Ryan Spann versus Bogdan Goskov.
Ba.
I'm not like I said, I don't think I've seen anybody. I've seen Austin Lane fight. He's fighting on the card. Tim Means. Tim's been around for a while. You got Ronnie Yaya fighting on the prelims, which I've seen him fight a lot. He's kind of an older guy, but he's a big underdog for this one.
Oh yeah.
Austin Hubbard's fighting on that undercard. Yeah, this ain't gonna blow your hair back, especially coming off UFC 300. This is gonna seem like a pretty lackluster card.
What if I'm bald? I don't think my hair will blow back. Like, I don't think yours will.
Blow back? I mean, I'd catch a breeze through it. Still catch a breeze on my bald head.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got May 4th, we got the Pantoja versus Erica card. That's in Brazil.
They should have just like Luke Skywalker versus
That
Vader.
that is on May 4th. Yeah, I wonder. Well, it's gonna be in Brazil, so I doubt you see any like Star Wars stuff. Maybe, but you got Pantoja versus how do you say his name? Erkig, Australian dude. Main event, you got Jose Aldo fighting Jonathan Martinez, Anthony Smith versus Petrino, Michael Pereira versus Uzbekistan. There's a lot of Uzbekistan fighters recently I've been noticing, and Paul Craig. So I mean, this This one's got some names on it.
The only
It's a
person that I
pay-per-view,
knew
so
is
should, but it's still for a pay-per-view. Even, I mean, you got Aldo, Anthony Smith, but none of these guys are like, Aldo's towards the end of his career. You got the Pantoja fight, but honestly, I'm not taking anything off of him. The dude's a great fighter, but it's just that flyweight division does not draw eyes. Never had. I mean, even with Demetrius, didn't draw eyes, and that's one of the best fighters in the world.
he is the best fighter ever.
So then we got after the fourth card is the St. Louis card on the 11th.
We'll be there.
We're getting tickets for that one. Got Derek Lewis versus Nascimento.
Derek Lewis got that in the bag.
Alonzo Manfield versus Olberg. So, I mean, we're going to have some big guys. So, there's going to be some. So, you got a heavyweight and a light heavyweight.
I love big guy fights.
Terrence McKinney's fighting. He's fighting Ribovics. Got Chase Cooper. You know Chase, the dude they asked if he was Ben Askren's son. Who was, like, interviewing and pretending to be Askren's son.
I didn't know he was a fighter.
Yeah. So, he's fighting. Another heavyweight.
Didn't he say that he was?
Yeah, he was messing with
like
Masvidal while he was like interviewing him. He's like, "Yeah, it's my dad." The girl fight, Ricci versus Pennington. That'll be good. Charles Johnson, Jake Haye. Yeah, Alex. There's you go. Bruce Leroy, Sean Woodson.
Bruce Lee versus Sean Woodson.
So it's gonna be a lot of good. The St. Louis card actually looks pretty good. Yeah, I know. We're not watching these fights live. You realize that, right?
Yeah,
you can watch these anytime, big dog.
Big dog. Just shut off, big dog.
Gavin's all into the Cheeto fight over here.
Yeah, because I'm trying to watch some fights, and I hear you yapping over here.
Yeah, because we're podcasting.
He literally graduated from Yap University.
You have the UFC app in your room. You can watch them anytime. I was just putting them on and have something on the background.
Oh, I hear over here. Yap, 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 yap.
Somebody needs to get in bed.
Yap, 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 yap,
Sassy.
yap.
Oh, what else fight news? We got Chandler and McGregor, or it's official.
Is it really?
Yeah, they're fighting on June 29th. Then you got Whitaker versus Chimaev, which that'll be a good one. I don't really know who I'm going to go with on that one yet.
If
That's
Connor
June 22nd.
loses, I feel like he'll retire.
Our next big fight we're getting, we got another fight night after. Speaking of him, he's actually fight. You just talked about him earlier.
Who?
But after the St. Louis card, you got May 18th. You got Barboza is fighting Murphy. That's their head in that card, and then UFC 302 is Makhachev versus Poirier. That's June 1st.
Dustin Poirier versus
Yes.
Islam Makhachev?
Yes.
Man, that's going to be a great
That's
fight.
the June 1st card. So once June 1st hits, we're kicking off.
My birthday.
Yeah, on your birthday, we're kicking off with 302. And then after that, we got Whitaker versus Chimaev, McGregor versus Chandler. So you got three, like, stacked cards kind of coming in after each other.
I'll bet money on Chimaev.
So we'll take these little three slower cards coming up, 3 or 4 slower cards to get us by to the bigger cards, and it'll be worth it. We just got UFC 300, so we can't be too freaking picky. Let's see. I think.
I would never.
Anything you hear? Anything else? Anything crazy?
The world is gonna end
Yeah, they've been saying that forever.
tomorrow.
I meant like anything fight news crazy.
I'm gonna fight you and win.
Maybe someday when I'm like.
Maybe right now, because you're still old.
Just because I lost my jiu-jitsu matches doesn't mean I'm going to lose any to you.
Just better at you jujitsu. Remember when I choked you out? That's what you sounded like.
I don't remember when you choked me out. I don't think that's ever
Yeah,
happened.
because you were asleep.
Oh, that's how that works. Huh?
You woke up and you had no idea where you were. Forgot your own name, actually, because it was that deep.
Oh, man. There's something else.
Man.
Trying to see all the. So the new gloves, like I told you about them. Did I show them to you?
No.
So here's like the Dana White Contender Series gloves. They're they're just a change in appearance. I don't think they go into effect until like next month. Trying to see if there's any other news I'm forgetting about.
Tomorrow, a chance of rain. Be like my news. I should be a weather broadcaster.
A weather broadcaster. Alright, well, I guess that's it for now. I don't really see too much else going on. I said Max and then...
KSI versus...
Oh, yeah. Well, who was it again? George Foreman?
George Foreman,
oh, yeah.
165-ounce gloves.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything new. Like, UFC 300 just been the talk lately, so I'm sure these next few weeks we'll get a maybe an update or a conspiracy theory around the Tyson fight. But maybe we'll do a podcast Thursday, just maybe a quick one, just making our picks for these boring fights coming up, maybe. Sound good to you? You're at your mom's this weekend, right?
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. So we'll watch them whenever. I guess probably you're around over on Tuesday or so, and then we'll break them down.
It is Tuesday.
I'm talking next week, bro. I'm talking the future. Hop in
Well,
my
you should have
DeLorean.
specified.
Let me hit
You should have
88.
specified.
Put your seatbelt on.
specified.
Sit in your booster
Should
seat and shut your freaking mouth.
I don't have a booster seat, buddy.
Gavin still uses a booster seat. Everybody.
Ooh, no, I don't.
When he's not licking the window, he's sitting in his booster seat.
When do I lick windows?
Hey.
Alright.
Hey, it's your bedtime. Say
Shut
goodnight.
up.
Say goodnight to everybody.
Ball boy. Freaking Mr. Clean looking.
All right, well,
You look like a burnt pizza roll.
you guys have a good time.
Yeah.
And if you meet anybody that, just go up and ask the next person you see and just be like, hey, do you see the Gaethje versus Holloway fight? If they don't know what you're talking about, just fucking point at the ground and knock them the fuck out.
Okay.
Give him the old Max Holloway treatment. Say, well, you been sleeping under a rock? My grandma seen that,
I'm
bro.
just gonna ask my teacher that.
Knock her out?
Knock her clean out.
Here's the thing, and she's gonna be like, yeah, and then she's gonna point at the ground.
No,
and
I
then
will.
you're getting
I will
slapped.
knock her out. She's like
Miss Lippy put you out cold,
Miss
dog.
Rule.
Miss Lippy.
Miss Rule.
Shout out to Miss Rule.
Do not shout out to Miss Rule. I hope you're hearing this. I want to fight you.
Hey, now, hey. This is a professional podcast. We're not fighting any teachers on here unless there's somebody
You're on
signing a
here.
contract.
You're on here. Put
All
on a
right.
wrestling match.
Well, let's get out of here before Gavin calls out his principal and his mom.
Hey, Mr. B.
No, all right. Have a good one, everybody.
Hey, to whoever may need this nugget of encouragement, things will be alright, so quit your worry. I get it, the odds seem stacked back against the wall, but even considering such, know you'll stand tall. Sat and watch from the sidelines one too many times. Wicked games to play, make me wanna lose my mind. Found solitude, knowing it'll be over soon. Ever need a boost, count on me for the 1-2. Trouble don't last when the tough get going. Baby, all we do is win, so show me my opponent. Adversity, doubt, stress, could care less, cause how we handle those like an S on our chest. Super proud of how we held it down on the way up. Can't wait for our day to ball, this is a layup. Nobody ever said this would be easy, but trust when I say that you got it. I know you've been looking for a breakthrough, trying our best to make